So is Obamacare turning the corner? The Washington Post reporting that consumer advocates say it's becoming easier for people to sign up, and that workers helping people have noticed the site has been running better over the past 2 weeks. But has the damage already been done? That's today's topic for our agenda panel. Sabrina Siddiqui is with the Huffington Post. Timothy Noah is a contributor to MSNBC.com. Gang, it's good to have you here. Sabrina, let me start with you on this, because we should note that the president is once again on the road today. He's visiting DreamWorks today, where he's going to speak about the economy. And the National Journal has two different articles up today I want to show, because one is titled, "A Better Obamacare Won't Save Obama," and then, "Can Obama Recover? He Did Already." So which one are you leaning towards? Is it more the latter of those headlines?
Yes, I'm leaning toward the latter because, as we know, especially with the Beltway media, they like to kind of pick winners and losers. And understandably, the president was criticized for the botched rollout of the health care law. But it's simply too soon to say that this has effectively already tarnished his legacy and that he can't recover from this. Now, we already have had that conversation several times this year alone. When they failed to pass background checks, for example, in Congress, there was a New York Times piece that said this is already the beginning of the end of the Obama legacy. We also had a similar conversation around over the IRS, of course, the administration's response to Syria, the revived focus on Benghazi, and I think that, you often see that, especially with the national media and how it covers these issues. The political repercussions of Obamacare are a lot more severe because it is a signature policy achievement, but it's just far too soon to make a declaration like that and say that his legacy will never recover, even as the law starts working and as you see improvements with the website, which we already are seeing.
Well, it's such a heavy lift when we go and look at this from engaging the entire social contract that we have with the country on health care. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And Tim Politico says that President Barack Obama has bungled healthcare.gov so badly that he's told senior aides to not even try to win positive coverage from the national press. Instead, they're going local. So it goes on to point out how the president has hit most of the top 10 cities across the country with the highest concentration of the uninsured. Do you think that's the best way to go, all politics being local?
Well, I think it would be helpful for all of us if we stopped thinking of Obamacare as a political scorecard for President Obama and started thinking of it as a service. There's a limited amount of time that the uninsured have to sign up for Obamacare. They are not being given very good information. I must say the press is severely at fault here. I looked at a bunch of newspapers the other day, and I found that the New York Times has published the URL for the New York Exchange exactly twice, both before October 1st. The Washington Post had published it 4 times, also before October 1st. The LA Times has published its local exchange URL only once. The press is really not providing some basic consumer information that people are going to need in order to avoid paying a penalty.
But when it comes to healthcare.gov, Tim, the media's fault that the website doesn't work. And it's not the media's fault that Republican governors have been obstructionists in states to set up their healthcare exchanges. I mean, it really can't be the media's fault in terms of...
The media is not terribly interested in providing much guidance to people who want to sign up through healthcare.gov, which is, of course, is a different site from the local sites.
Well, I mean, most media people have been actually going on and trying to sign up for themselves and bringing in casts of characters that they'll do it on television for them. I mean, basically, unless we go into individuals' homes and sign them up ourselves, how are we supposed to help people any more than we already have?
Let me give you an example. It's hard to do on TV, I have to say. It's easier to do in the print press. Frank Lawley, a former editor of Money Magazine, had an advice column in Parade Magazine, an online advice column. Terrifically helpful. They only ran it during the month of October. They pulled the plug on it. About 3/4 of what I know about the ins and outs of practically signing up for Obamacare, I think I learned from that column.
Sabrina, is time on the side of the administration now just kind of a lie-in-wait approach to this?
Well, I think that they've certainly had a very rough couple of months, but we are seeing improvements with the website, and their primary challenge now is going to be getting people to sign up for it. There are a lot of people, of course, who just avoided the website altogether when they heard about the mess. They really have to reach out to younger people as well, and they are holding, I think, a youth forum next week to try and educate people on the process and encourage them to sign up. Now, that's a sign that they know internally, too, that the website is improving, because they had held back on those kinds of outreach activities when the website wasn't working. They would didn't want to draw people to a website that they couldn't use. So I think that time will slowly be on their side, assuming that things go as planned. We're coming up to that November 30th deadline for healthcare.gov to be functioning as best as it could. So hopefully, I think that they're going to try to focus now on outreach activities and ensure that people sign up for the exchanges.
Sabrina Siddiqui of the Huffington Post, Timothy Noah of MSNBC.com.